not only maybe were they too late in raising interest rates, but they might also, they're potentially losing credibility with financial markets and with consumers.
What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If Congress right now sent out a check to help out with everything going on, or maybe a monthly reoccurring gas check, do you think it would help, or do you think it would be too little too late at this point? Well, I've got some video footage for you you are not going to want to miss, as they're saying it's not too late, because what is on the horizon and going to be coming in the next 5 to 7 months with inflation, gas prices, and everything unfolding with our economy and a potential recession? Well, they're saying things are actually going to get quite worse from where they're at right now. Now, this is your breaking news stimulus check update and stimulus package update, and we're going to be seeing how Congress responds to all of this. But you guys, I want to make sure that you know the latest. I know this might not be what you want to hear, but you know here on the channel, I'm going to report to you all the facts so you at least know what's going on. I share with you all the articles. I put the headlines right on the screen, read right from them, so you know it's the latest. Now, they're going to be discussing the gas prices, which, take a look, you guys, why gas prices are near $5 a gallon and how high they'll go. Well, they're saying, get ready, they're going to be going higher. Gas prices climbed 5 cents overnight. Americans are paying nearly $2 more than just 1 year ago, and they're saying these prices aren't going to be coming down anytime soon either. And also exasperating all of this is the war with Russia and Ukraine. What we know about day 104 of the invasion, this has been going on for over 3 months, and we're hearing it's not stopping either. So this is increasing oil prices, which is causing gas prices to go higher, which is causing food and other items that need to be transported to be increased in price as well. In addition to that, we've got supply chain issues, and we're still dealing with the pandemic. So right now, our economy, it is suffering. Now, in this video footage, they're going to cover all the details, and they're going to be mentioning how the Federal Reserve and Congress is responding to all this. And at this time, the Fed, they're going to be doing quantitative tightening, which is going to be impacting our economy, and we're going to feel the negative effects of this in about 5 to 7 months, they're saying. Now, also, in regards to Congress, if you missed my videos yesterday, you might want to check them out, as we heard that they are working away to try to get something done, as they're realizing things with our economy, they are not good. And we heard that Joe Manchin, he is back on board to pass through a Build Back Better bill due to everything that's taking place. But we're going to be seeing how slimmed down it is and if they can get it done in time. Now, in addition to that, we've heard Democrats say that whatever is not included in that slimmed down bill, they want to pass with President Joe Biden through executive orders and actions. However, a lot of people are saying just cut to the chase. Send out checks through executive orders and actions. Don't wait for Congress or legislation. Do it now. Now, if you missed that video, check it out yesterday, as we heard that this is definitely a possibility and that the legality of it, it's a little bit gray, but they say that it can be done. It has been done before for unemployment benefits, and President Donald Trump had threatened to do it before for a second stimulus check before Congress had gotten on board. And people are saying, we have $800 billion of leftover funds. Why doesn't President Joe Biden do that right now to send out help for the American people? Wouldn't add to the debt. It's already gone out from previous packages. Well, let me know your thoughts, you guys, but I'm going to cover all the details for you. We're going to dive into this video footage. Now, before we do, also wanted to mention, if you appreciate these updates, smash the like button. If you want to stay up to date, it's totally free. All you got to do is take a quick moment to hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and we are also working on a comprehensive list of all checks at various levels, as there's not only federal checks, but there's state, county, and city checks as well. People don't know about these, and in many cases you have to apply, and we're hearing people are missing out on available money that they could be receiving, and it's just going back to the government, and people are totally missing out. I want to make sure that that does not happen to you, so again, stay up to date and keep an eye out for a comprehensive list that we are currently working on. It's quite the undertaking, but we're going to make sure that you get it. And also, if you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3, and keep an eye out on my second channel. We're going to be releasing more content on what's going on with our economy, how to build wealth, stuff about real estate, stocks, cryptos, and starting businesses. But with that being said, you guys, let's dive into the video footage, get you caught up on the latest.
Gas prices in the U.S. have soared to a new record high. The price of gas has already topped $5 per gallon in 13 states. The national average is 60 cents higher than just a month ago and almost $2 more than this time last year. Carter Evans has more.
It's not just sticker shock anymore. Painful pump prices aren't going away anytime soon.
Too damn high. It's ridiculous.
The national average is just pennies away from $5 a gallon, and in these 13 states, prices are soaring even higher. In Illinois, up 88 cents in just the last month.
I just wish they'd come back down. It's going to affect the summer.
At $6.37 a gallon in California, a family of four here is spending $600 a month or more on gas, according to oil analyst Tom Closa.
We've had an ascent that's like the ascent of Mount Everest. July is anything goes.
That's because millions of Americans are back on the move, not willing to put off that summer vacation any longer.
How high is it going to have to get before people actually really pull back on driving?
Well, that's an experiment in progress right now.
And some are reaching a tipping point.
I think it's going to get worse before it gets better, and everyone needs to brace for that.
If I see it hit $6, that's it.
That could easily happen. Hurricane season has just begun, and half the nation's oil refining capacity is along the Gulf Coast.
And if a hurricane hit and knocked 10% of our refining capacity offline, what would that do?
I think a hurricane really alters the calculus. Then you get into the $6 to $7 a gallon range.
Do you see gas prices getting back into the $3 a gallon range anytime soon?
Not this year. Not this year.
Now, to get the best mileage, we've all heard about checking your tire pressure and driving slowly, but the biggest way to save immediately at the pump is to stop using premium gas. If your car doesn't say it's required, then you don't need it. It has no benefit, and at a gas station like this, you'll instantly save 30 cents a gallon.
All right. Good suggestion, Carter. Thank you. For more now, I want to bring in John Lear. He is the chief economist for Morning Consult. John, let's just start with the most pressing question. When will gas prices stop rising?
Thanks for having me, Lana. You know, there's a lot of headwinds right now for gas prices, and we're seeing this with a lot of the sort of what I'll call geopolitical uncertainty, particularly coming out of Russia and Ukraine. We know that Europe is trying to wean itself off of Russian oil and gas. I think that's going to continue to exert upward pressure on those prices in the near term. So as your prior sort of commentator noted, I don't expect to see gas prices easing over the course of this year. And then, of course, there are sort of so many other ways in which gas prices directly affect consumer prices, because it's an input to so much of the things that we consume.
Right. So how high do you think it'll go, John?
I'm fairly optimistic that inflation overall is sort of getting ready to turn over, and we're likely to see some prices start to fall, particularly on the used car front and some of these other pandemic affected issues. I think one of the really big concerns right now, though, is just that the areas where prices are elevated, particularly around food and energy prices, hit consumers so directly, and it's really difficult for them to reallocate spending away from those staples.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about, instead of inflation, stagflation, because the World Bank is warning that the global economy could suffer a 1970s-style stagflation. Explain what causes it and how concerned you are about that.
And so the World Bank is coming out and saying that they're likely to see, or we're likely to see, a world in which we experience elevated inflation and fairly low or stagnating economic growth. And that's kind of the worst of both worlds. I think one of the things, and I brought it up earlier, is, we see in the US just how disproportionately affected lower income adults are when they face elevated energy and food prices. The same is true globally. And so as these prices hit other countries, as they hit the developing world in particular, those countries are really ill-suited to address those challenges. So I think that's really what's concerning. And I think that's what the World Bank tried to explain today, is just how a lot of the sort of temporary inflation that we're likely to face here in the US over the next, let's say, 6 months, is likely to be more of a lasting problem in the developing world.
All right. Well, let's focus on inflation, because we know how real that problem is. In a Senate Finance Committee hearing Tuesday, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said that the U.S. is currently facing, quote, unacceptable levels of inflation. How much of these rising prices are to be blamed on the Fed?
I think a lot of the blame lies in a mixture of sources. I think it's important to remember that there's a counterfactual here, which is that we could have had lower inflation and much higher unemployment. If we look back 2 years ago, we could have had higher interest rates over the course of the pandemic and really not done as much to support the jobs market. I do think the Fed was a little slow in making that change. They were a little behind the curve. So that's one of the reasons why I think folks are so concerned. Not only maybe were they too late in raising interest rates, but they might also, they're potentially losing credibility with financial markets and with consumers.
potentially very concerning then. But I want to dig in a little bit more because, as you've noted, despite record high inflation and rising interest rates, U.S. jobs continued positive growth in May, according to Monthly Consult's monthly jobs and labor report. John, we know that the monetary tightening often has a potential to curb hiring, and yet the labor market still remains strong. Tell us what's going on.
I think what we're seeing play out right now is very consistent with what we would have expected, which is that tightening financial conditions take 5 to 7 months to really play out in terms of the impact on the jobs recovery. Consumer demand remains very robust in the U.S. despite record low consumer confidence. And so, as we see the year play out, that's when I start getting more and more concerned about jobs growth, particularly towards the end of the summer and beginning of the fourth quarter. That's when those tighter financial conditions driven by the Fed are likely to impact businesses' hiring decisions and their investment decisions.
So still lots of gray on the forecast there. All right, John Lear, thank you.
So there you have it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, as more develops with all of this, I'll be sure to keep you up to date. We're hearing that we could be hitting $5 a gallon on a national level as soon as tomorrow. We're going to see how Congress responds. We've seen proposals for gas checks, tax rebates, taxing the oil companies that are profit gouging at this time, and there's a variety of different states that are taking actions at state levels to help out their residents. Now, I'll keep you up to date on all of this, and again, I'll let you know on federal level as well how Congress and the president respond. But you guys, that is the latest, and as always, thank you so much for joining me here on the channel. If you made it this far and you haven't already and you appreciate the content, don't forget, take a quick second, smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps me out a ton. Thank you so much. Leave your comments, share this out. If you want to stay up to date, totally free. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3, and consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. But with that being said, you guys, once again, thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.